On the morning of September 11, 2001, 19 men, armed with box cutters, directed by a man on dialysis, in a cave fortress halfway around the world, using a satellite phone and a laptop, directed the most sophisticated penetration of the most heavily defended airspace in the world, overpowering the passengers and the military combat trained pilots on Thor commercial aircraft before flying those planes wildly off course for over an hour without being molested by a single fighter interceptor. These 19 hijackers stood out with religious fundamentals. Was able to fly a 757 in an 8,000-foot, the 72 and insanity degree corkscrew turned to come exactly level with the ground, hitting the Pentagon! Hitting the Pentagon in the budget analyst's office where DME staffers were working on the mystery of $2.3 trillion that affect Secretary Donald Rumsfeld and missing from the Pentagon's covers at a press conference the day before on September 10, 2011. Luckily, the news anchors knew who did it within minutes. The pundits knew within hours, the administration knew within the day, and the evidence literally fell into the FBI's lap. But for some reason, a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists demanded an investigation into the greatest attack on American soil in history. The investigation was delayed, underfunded, set up to fail, a conflict of interest, and a cover-up from start to finish. It was based on testimony extracted through torture, the records of which were destroyed, and failed to mention in existence, I'm telling you, KC7, Aerial Danger! Peak, Sybil Edmonds, OBL, and the CIA, and the drills of hijacked aircraft being flown into buildings that were being simulated at the precise same time that those events were actually happening. It was lied to by the Pentagon, the CIA, the Bush administration, and as for Bush and Cheney, well, no one knows what they told it. They testified in secret. Off the record, not under oath, and behind closed doors. It didn't bother to let that whole fun to be behind closed doors. Fashion, yeah, if I'm bueno, all the people safe against. Still, the 9/11 mission did brilliantly, answering all of the questions the public have, and certain bots and the victim fan remembers questions. And pinning blame on all the people responsible, although no one so much as lost their job, determining the attacks were a failure of imagination. Because I don't think anyone could envision flying airplanes into buildings except the Pentagon and FEMA and NORAD and even Idaho. The die destroyed 2.5 TB of data on Ava Danger, but that's okay because it probably wasn't important. They just say destroy their records on the investigation into the insider trading the Korean pots. But that's okay because destroying the records of the largest investigation in history is just part of routine record keeping. NIST has classified the data interviews for their model of WTC7's collapse. But that's okay because knowing how they made their model of that collapse jeopardized public safety. The FBI has ordered on material related to that investigation. And I know urine should be kept secret from the public. But that's okay because the FBI will game boarding hogs put nothing to hide. This man never existed, nor is anything you had to say worthy of your attention. And if you say otherwise, you are a paranoid conspiracy theorist and deserve to be shunned by all of humanity. Likewise him. Osama bin Laden lived in a cave fortress in the hills of Afghanistan, but somehow got away. Then he was hiding out in Tora Bora, but somehow got away. Then he lived in a bot for years, taunting the most comprehensive intelligence, dreadedly employing the most sophisticated technology in the history of the world for 10 years, releasing video after video with complete impunity, and getting younger and younger as he did